So here's the deal, guys. I'm having a really hard time coping with the idea that gardening season is over and it's September and there was snow on the ground this morning. Here's to all the peppers that never peppered. Here's to all the melons that never meloned. Here's to all of our green tomatoes in the garage that I fear will never ripen. Hot diggity dog, it's cold out here. If you haven't seen one of our recent videos, we were under a winter storm watch at the end of September, which is completely unheard of for our area of Idaho. In the forecast was up to a couple inches of snow in some areas and temperatures in the teens to low 20s, which is known to completely knock out a garden overnight. On top of that, it was forecasted that we were going to get up to 50-mile-per-hour winds. I'm happy to report that the winds never came. We only had a little sprinkling of a snow this morning, and the temperatures have been cold, but tonight is when we're supposed to see those really low temperatures that might completely kill off everything in the garden above ground. So for fear of losing our hard work over the summer, we decided to harvest the entire garden. So last night, anything that could be put away, we went ahead and did that. We cut and hung the top of the carrot greens, we blanched our beet greens, we roasted and froze the beets, we cut and froze all of our peppers, we cut all of our onions, they're ready to dehydrate. We put away our ripe paste tomatoes, and all of our cherry tomatoes we're just gonna leave out because we wanna enjoy those fresh. And then the things we need to use up pronto because they're gonna wilt are our herbs, basil and mint. Over the winter, I was planning my dream garden. This was supposed to be our best garden ever. I had a couple of goals. One, I wanted to eat fresh from it throughout the season. And then two, I wanted a lot left over to preserve. And instead of focusing on growing things that are maybe expensive to buy in stores, I was focusing on growing things that we actually eat because it's my goal to pretty much never go to the store. It's not necessarily about a cost savings per se, it's more about growing the things we eat on our own property. In my planning, once I filled up all of our bed spaces with kind of the critical things in our diet, I then started shifting to, well, what would be fun to grow? What would be good to grow as a flower or as an herb or between our garden beds? We're not really fresh herb people. And when I say that, it's not that we don't enjoy them, but even if the herb garden is close to my kitchen, I just kind of forget, in all honesty, or I'm already so busy that I don't really want to come out to the garden to cut fresh herbs. So we didn't worry too much about things like oregano or parsley or cilantro. We tried to grow cilantro last year and it just never really took off. However, I love basil, not for fresh eating per se, but mostly so we can make pesto. And we have a whole freezer of pesto. We didn't even eat all of our pesto from last year. And another thing I really love is mint. One of my favorite smoothies, I haven't made it yet, but it's chocolate banana, so banana with cocoa powder and a couple handful of fresh mint leaves. Not only are you getting your greens, but who doesn't love the chocolate mint combination? I started this from seeds, so I didn't have high hopes of getting a lot of mint this year, but it did exceed my expectations. I did keep it within a pot so it doesn't take over the rest of the garden, and it's my hope that it'll come back next spring. But what I thought would really be fun would be to make my own mint extract. I was looking up recipes and it looks like all you need is booze and mint, both which are fairly easy to acquire, especially if we have our own mint. And I thought, what if through our garden I can supply all of our mint extract throughout the year? But because I'm somewhat of an extreme person, and I go big or I go home, I asked myself, what other kinds of extract can we make? I know my mom has made vanilla extract and she absolutely loved it. It's something I've never really worried about, but If you've been watching our channel for some time, you'll know that Jesse and I kind of like ice cream, and we make our own ice cream out of raw milk. And vanilla extract is a base of our recipe. And if we make mint chocolate chip ice cream, then we use a lot of mint extract. Do you see where I'm going with this? What I was really curious to know was, is there a substantial cost savings by making your own extracts? Let's take a look at the numbers. So cheap vanilla on the low end is $35 per cup. And it could be argued that that might not be the highest quality of vanilla. The beans we bought on Amazon were $20 for 10 beans. And our recipe, we're gonna do 5 beans for 1 cup of extract. So that's $10 in vanilla beans per cup of extract. Everything I've read said buy quality vanilla beans, which is grade B, not grade A, but you can go cheap on your alcohol. So our vodka worked out to about $2.60 per cup. So that puts 1 cup of homemade vanilla at just $13, which is a whopping 67% savings. So the mint I found was $18 a cup. Mint leaves, if you grow them yourself, are free. Vodka is still $2.60 a cup. So 1 cup of mint extract is gonna cost us $2.60 to make. That's an 86% savings. Let me show you just how much of a savings this is, because you know me, we ain't making 1 cup. We're gonna make a whopping 8 cups of vanilla extract. If we were to buy it, would be $280. But because it only costs us $13 a cup to make, it's only gonna cost us $104. And we're also gonna do 8 cups of mint extract. So to buy it would be $144. And to make it ourselves is a whopping $20.80. So the materials for this project, we'll round up, is about $125, 80 of that being vanilla beans. And if we were to buy 8 cups of vanilla and 8 cups of mint, it would cost us $425. So my profit is $300. That's pretty crazy. I know a lot of people, they don't just make the extract for themselves, but it makes a really wonderful gift, because most people haven't had homemade extract. And people that make it themselves say it's just, you can't even compare it to something you buy in the store. Isn't that most things that are homemade and homegrown? And then more in the funsies category, we harvested, I think it was 8 or 9 cups of basil from our garden. We're gonna turn most of that into pesto, but if all you need to make an extract is your ingredient and alcohol, what would happen if we tried to make a basil extract? I thought, instead of just making plain vodka vanilla extract, why don't we get creative? So I decided to see what my bean options were, and it seems that the 3 main type of vanilla beans are Madagascar, Tahitian, and then there's a Mexican vanilla bean. But I couldn't find those in a small quantity on Amazon, so I decided no need to test all the varieties in the world, we'll just test a few of them. And then I thought it'd be fun to pair those with a few different types of alcohol. So in a nutshell, we're gonna have 6 different flavors of vanilla in the end. And we get to see which one is our favorite, and then maybe the following year we'll make that. These guys are our main case studies, and then these peripheral guys are just extra, so we're gonna fill that with whatever alcohol we have left. One more question you might have. How long do we have to let these babies sit? On the low end, people suggest 2 months, and that's like bare minimum. On the higher end, people recommend waiting at least 6 months, and if you're patient enough, a whole year. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Curiosity might get the best of us, and we might taste it in 6 months. That time's really gonna fly. Smells amazing. There you have it. It was pretty simple and a ton of fun. I think Jesse and I both love this journey that we're on of trying to make as much as we can from scratch. It's really satisfying, and more often than not, you're gonna end up with a better quality product and something that tastes better. As I was saying before, I don't think making your own stuff always comes down to doing what's most cost effective. To be honest, a lot of stuff, it's just cheaper to buy. We even talk about that with our garden. We don't know that we're really saving money, not between buying the seeds. If we're saving our seeds, it's a little bit different of a story. Not to mention all the time we spend tending to the garden. If you're trying to save money, you're better off just going to the store. But there's so many more reasons to garden and make your own food than just the cost savings. I think it doesn't even compare on a nutritional level. But with stuff like extracts and some of these other items, I feel like people don't make them because the upfront cost to make it worth it. I mean, $100, that's not a small amount of money, but to save, what did I say? To save $300, you have to spend $100. But if you don't have the $100, then you can't do that. So I think what I'm trying to say is we find with a lot of stuff there are good deals, but you're gonna have to buy in bulk and you're gonna have to put down a little bit of money up front, as well as a little bit of your time. And for those of you diehards that are gonna be around in 6 or 12 months, we can't wait to share with you how these guys turn out. If you didn't notice, I like the way Anna measures. I want Anna to serve my ice cream, if you know what I mean. Because if Anna thought there was 4 cups in there, what this means is that there's enough left over to try a mint chocolate smoothie. Just as good as I remember. Wow.